Hello, hi. Hi, Goldie, welcome on in. I think the music's a bit loud. Hold on. Ow. How's your day been? Pretty productive, if I do say so myself. We're gonna be continuing this model. Okay. I finished Lamb's model off stream. By the way, if you guys are in her community, shh, the others don't know about it. Hold on, let me bring it up. I forgot to save it as like an asset. Let me do that. He's this guy. I love the eye sparkle. It's a bit hard to maintain, but I have a hotkey for it. That's very, very nice. Thank you. Hello. Hi, Feather. Welcome on in. Hold on. I need to save this as an asset. Mm, disable, disable. How do I do this again? Load as live 2D item. Fresh or what? First of all, it is 8 p.m. If anything, this is the least fresh order you can find in a day. Ta-da! Thoughts? He's so cute. I feel like I'm gonna put the eye sparkle. Actually, whoever asks. Okay, let me just put him away. Okay. Art time. Ow. How have you guys been? Up to anything up to anything interesting? Are you done with the bricks? Woken up a little sick? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Been a lot of arc raiders. Arc raiders. The name sounds familiar. What game is this? Nope. Never played it. Woe bricks be upon ye. That is not a thing. You can't just say things like that and then brick someone in the face. That's not how society functions. Not a bad game, but recently got Expedition 33. That game actually looks super fun, but I didn't have time to play it. So what I did instead was I went on YouTube and I was like, okay, Expedition 33, all cutscenes, and then someone made a sort of movie out of it. And I think it was like 6, 8 hours long. It was very long like that. I had to watch it in segments. Ow. But yeah, the story was really beautiful. I'm not gonna spoil it. Hi, Hot Shack. I disagree. Well, tell that to the judge. I haven't played much of anything recently, actually, now that I think about it. At most, I have like a couple hours of Helldivers. Ooh, and Baldur's Gate 3. Because I have a campaign going with some of my human friends, right? I am learning what it's like to be a player at a table full of min maxers. It is quite the experience. Can't wait to play then. Yeah, well, it is a beautiful game. I didn't see too much of the gameplay mechanics, but story wise, beautiful. A very unique, very interesting. I've mostly figured out the layers of the hair here and the ear. Story about grief, from what I heard. Oh, yeah. And the plot twists. Beautiful. I won't spoil it for you, but was totally not what I was expecting. I was actually glad to see it. I feel like plot lines when it comes to games, not what they used to be. I feel like back in the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 era, even before that as well, a lot of the games were made with the intention of we need to make a good, amazing game that people will buy. A very small encapsulated experience, has a beginning, has an end, yada, 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 like a book, right? And I think along the way, a lot of games kind of lost that. Yeah, a lot of mechanics kind of encroached inwards, kind of like the gotcha system. What else? Multiplayer can be good, but that's a good way of putting this. It feels very monetized. They are exceptions to this, right? What's a beautiful game with a good story? We've already covered Expedition 33. Ooh, I love The Witcher. What else? But I think one genre that kind of gets away from that is friend slop games. Eternal Sonata. I have never heard of that one. Let me Google it. Hmm. What's the plot line? The story follows a Polish romantic pianist and composer, I can't pronounce his name, who died of tuberculosis. His adventure in a fictional world where he dreams. Oh, basically like isekai then. PlayStation 3. Oh, this is old. By the way, I used to think PlayStation 3 was like 2015. It's actually 2007. Like PS3 is older than I thought. I don't know why. Like I always feel like it's not so recent. What's it called? What's the word? Because I'm like, oh yeah, PlayStation 3. I owned one of those. That didn't come out too long ago. And then I'm look, oh, 2000 and what? This game is 2007. When was PS3 released? It's basically his fever dream. Oh, interesting. I'm not seeing a PC release though. That's unfortunate. This will sound silly, but always kind of funny seeing James in chat because of how many people I've shown your bottle to and yet have no idea who you are. Yeah, see, Feather is unofficially my marketing manager. Because every time someone is interested in model work or art or anything, he pulls a list of artists that he likes. Is like, hey, you should know about this person. They're very talented. They're very this. They're very that. So when it comes to full body models, yeah, he always just pulls up the he pulls up your model, and it's like, hey, look, he made this full body model. My plan is to really kick things off in December. I've been exhausted after working each day. Honestly, understandable. When I when did I start streaming? I started streaming after I started my corpo job, right? And I realized, I cannot stream after work because I will be very exhausted and I won't have the energy. It'll just basically be quiet, tired artist stream. And even then, when I'm tired, I can't do art, right? Feather, I did joke about foregoing sleep to finish like models and stuff, but I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it. If I'm sleepy and disoriented, I can't do art. So that is why I thought to myself, what if I wake up super early and stream before work, right? And then I can be tired and exhausted my corpo job. Good, because I really would have no joke punched you. Yeah, good luck with that. I am hidden in. You know what? I'm not even going to complete that sentence. I'm not going to give people clues where I live. Sleep is a scam invented by Big Bed to sell more beds. Exactly. Rise above, sleep on the floor. He's in a wizard tower in Hogwarts. It's hidden in the UK. Yeah, you know, when you're walking the street and you see these random discarded cardboard boxes out by the street, one of them has been enchanted to be bigger on the inside, and that's where I stay. Perfect disguise. Anyway, fingers crossed, we can finish this model, and there'll be one more thing for Feather to promote. How much is the rent? You just need to bribe the garbage collection service to not pick up the boxes. So usually you just need to set like a couple of rabid raccoons on them, and then they just learn to leave that area alone. Out of curiosity, I've never done any of those Twitch community goals. If the goal fails, do we get refunded? Because I saw someone say if you cancel it, the points get refunded. But what if the timer runs out? I don't believe so. Okay. What if on the last day, if it's obviously not going to be completed, do you want to cancel it and then everyone gets their points back? Because I don't want to go all in with my points. No, everyone has too many points anyway. Very well. I think it's the same here. But I want to do something with the points, you know? I have the mascot and, our redeems and stuff at the very end, but that's like a crazy amount of savings. So I want ones which are a lot cheaper, you know? I really don't use redeems anymore to save for those already. Excuse me. One idea that I had, Ryan, for example, if someone is interested in, say, mascot commission, Ryan, but they don't want to save, or they see it, they realize, oh, it's daunting to save that much. I wanted to have like the roll dice mechanic. I want to have that one as like a little gotcha system, except you roll a nat 20, you get mascot commission. I tried it with bits at first, and then I realized, oh, I don't think I'll be very comfortable with that. So I scrapped that idea, and I was thinking to myself, what if I use channel points? Because you cannot buy them, and yeah, I wouldn't feel guilty if someone just burns all their channel points on redeems and stuff. But if it was real money, yeah, I wasn't sure if there's like some people have a little bit of a gotcha problem. And I was thinking to myself, how would I determine what is okay and what is someone going too far? So I decided the best option would be to just scrap the bits idea. And yeah, I'm still toying around with the idea because I'm still not sure if it's good or not. Because even if it's just channel points, someone could burn all of them. And if they don't get the thing, they might feel bad, you know? But if in a perfect world, someone could roll for it using channel points. Whether they get it or not, they'll be happy. But I don't know. Hmm. What do you guys think? Is the dice actually pure luck? Yeah. Exactly 1 in 20 chance. It actually uses the same mechanics as the roll dice redeem, the one just for fun. It uses the exact same thing, except it has different it has a different animation for yeah, it would have a different animation for the gotcha one and have a little bit of a different message. So like there is a slight difference. I'm trying to get some work done or play some games. I don't know. Well, have fun. I would say same, but we basically never get work done here. One day, fingers crossed. Let's go gambling. It's funny if it's a bit and no one takes it seriously, but I worry. So yeah, it's an idea that I've just put on hold. It's just like at the back of my mind, you know? Maybe one day it'll click the best way to execute it. Sounds like you need a pity system. Not really, because if they succeed, then I basically have to do like $100 worth of work. So I don't want to make it too easy. What are you doing right now with the hair? I'm working on the different layers. So I was trying to figure out. Hold on, let me get rid of this. So I was working on the best way to separate this one. So what I have done is little hair here, and then middle layer here, and then big chunk over here. And maybe I'll separate them a bit further, add a few more strands, and yeah. After X failed rolls, it becomes guaranteed, something like after 20. But if, say, one roll is like 10,000 channel points, that's like 200,000 points. So it's basically getting the mascot commission redeem at 20% off. Now, if I had other things to offer which were nice, but not as expensive in quotes, time wise, that could be the thing they win with pity. But what could we give them? Could be an emote commission. But what if they're like not a creator and not interested? Or a small asset? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Because it could be like oh, pity system, you didn't win these things, but hey, you won this one, you know? And I think I can cap redeems per user if I yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I can just make it like, oh, you can only redeem it like a 5 times a stream, you know? Ooh, that means I could make it cheaper, and then people will have to come back. It's a marketing genius move. I have been thinking about opening emote commissions. Not really for general emotes, but I think very specific animated ones. I think the ones people like are the high one, and I have some that I've been meaning to make for ages. You guys know, like okay, ones that I want. I want one which is nodding. I want one which is rioting. I'm basing these off of the ones that I use the most. So those two, one that's cheering, maybe a head pat one. What else? Yeah, because I feel like just static emotes. There are a lot of talented artists out there who could probably make really good quality work very quickly so they can keep their prices low. But when it comes to art, I'm kind of slow. So it ends up taking like a lot more time for me to draw compared to rigging. So income per hour would probably be low for me to just do standard ones, but ones which are animated, those ones I think I can charge a bit more so they do make sense. Right? What I lose in the art side, I could make up in terms of rigging. So yeah. Like for example, if one emote would take if one emote would take like 3 hours to do, right? I can charge for, 3 hours worth of work. I could spend like 2.5 hours doing the art and then 30 minutes animating it. And yeah, it kind of balances each other out. Oh, sorry, I break even that way. Maybe even profit. I'd say that's the one thing I don't like about being a full-time artist. You gotta think about these things. I want to just do art. I need to be adopted as someone's pocket artist. You know, I think they used to do that in ancient Rome. It's like those very rich noble people. Um, what they do is they would have like there'd be like a patron to an artist, and they're like, okay, you live in my house, you eat my food, but all you do all day is make art for me. Make these, make these marble sculptures, make these paintings, make whatever. So yeah, that's a sweet gig, and honestly, we should bring that back. What are my rates? You know what? I'm not expensive. I just need place to sleep, nice food, internet connection, treats for my cats. Yeah, I could be someone's pet artist. Any offers? None? Very well. I don't think my cats would be happy with that. Yeah. Well, my cats aren't even happy with each other, so there was a bit of cat drama in the household. I don't know why. Julian suddenly decided she didn't like my housemate's cat. Every time she would see him, tail instantly becomes bushy, starts hissing and growling, and she actually starts moving forward, like towards him on the attack, right? She has never done that for as long as I have owned her. So yeah, I was very surprised. I don't know why. And I noticed this all started from the day. Ow. Okay. This all this all started the day that I tried shooing him away from the food bowl, and I may have accidentally sicked Julian on him. So yeah, for like a full week after that, every time she'd see him, she'd get very angry. They seem to have calmed down now. They've gone back to their normal look at each other, hiss, but keep their distance. Ordi, I got a biff. Well, you come in here, you throw bricks at us. Well, sorry, you throw bricks at me, and then you start bragging about your successful romantic life. How dare you? Congrats, by the way. Some people here are sad and alone, and now you have just poured salt in the wound. What do you have to say for yourself? By the way, I'm just messing with you. I'm happy and alone. Yeah. Honestly, that's the way to go. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. There's an isekai for everything. I feel like the genre is done to death. If they did it well, like it wouldn't matter if it's yet another isekai, but I think people make it for the sake of making it. To everyone other than Ordi, sorry. And to Ordi, how does it feel? Where's the ban button? Hi, table. Welcome on in. Hmm. I feel like the back hair can be cut into like 2 layers. Hmm. Or we could do one. No, this hair. Do you see at the back? Hold on. This is the hair that's at the front. So it'll be like this. I'm just thinking of how best to do the hair at the back. Cause normally what I do is I just make it one giant layer, or in some cases just 2 layers. Like just one giant layer but then split down the middle. So the hair basically is like this. Yeah, so the hair layer at the back, usually what I do is the hair is just one layer like this, or in some cases I split it in two, like that. And then they kind of shake a little independently. This one I'm wondering, do I actually separate it? Because I might be able to separate it like this. So it can bounce like a little bit more. So it can jiggle like this. And then this one can also jiggle like that. Hi, Maxine. Doesn't 2 layers work? Honestly, any of them will work, but I'm like, what will look the nicest, you know? Hmm, thinking. Because, like, my model, this model that I have, the back layer of the hair is split in two, like this. And what's an example one with one? Oh, actually, the Lava Girl one. I saved her as an asset, so here we are. Yeah, I saved her as an asset. Like the hair at the back is one layer. Yeah, this is an example of one layer. Try to ignore the ones on the side. but just the very back. You see how it shakes? It's all one layer. So yeah, any of them will work. I'm just thinking, which one should we do? Because like with different hairstyles, it depends. Also, Maxine asks, "Hello, Ordi. How are you? I am doing good. A little productive today. I managed to figure out how I wanted to cut up the hair and also the ears. I'm gonna do something a little different. So yeah, like this one. This is actually gonna just be gray. This one's gonna be gray like this and invisible. Except it won't actually be cover. Oops, wrong one. It won't actually be covering this pink part and the fluff. It'll be clipping it, so it just doesn't exist. And I think that might make it easier. It's what I do with like the lips with the mouth. So you see, the full mouth, the full tongue is there. It's just there's an invisible layer that kind of stops it from appearing outside the lips, you know? So now try doing that with the ears. And it has the potential to come out pretty nicely. It's something new, so I want to experiment. Worst case scenario, going the standard route is just as easy, I suppose. But yeah, if this one works, I think it might be, yeah, it might be better. Because it gives us the chance to like do a lot more with the shading. But anyway, that's how I get sidetracked to doing my model work. I'll be thinking about the hair and I'm like, oh, but what if this ear was like this? And I start working on that one. And then while I'm halfway through that one, like, oh, I forgot to put the tooth on the mouth. And I go and do that one. And then eventually the model gets done. Okay, we're doing hair back. Yeah, we can try 4 layers. But I have a bit of a unique naming system when it comes to layers. If you take a look over here, you see it's labeled like a hair BUR. What that means is hair back upper right, which probably confusing if I'm working with like another artist. For example, I'm making the art and then they have to rig it. My nonsensical naming system could be confusing because I've actually done some work where I rigged models where someone else did the art. This is like long time ago. Sometimes the layers are just straight up not named, and that is wild. And my last day of courses day, no more course until second half of next year. Well, you deserve a break. So, any exciting plans? I'm actually gonna hate not doing anything. I need stuff to do. Honestly, I am the same. You know what I'd recommend? Pick up an Arduino kit. Learn to build random stuff. It is super fun and very educational. And then you can build robots to do anything. We had a 2 week break mid semester, and the entire break, I'm like, I freaking hate this. I'm going back to. And going back to a course was breath of fresh air. Honestly, relatable. If I was in between commissions, I think I'd just be doing art just for the fun of it. Because if I kind of just sit there and do nothing, yeah, it drives me crazy as well. But the beautiful thing is you don't really need to wait for your uni or whatever to actually give you the work. You can just give yourself work. Fun projects, life changing. It's for all the workaholics out there. If you just don't have enough work to do, you can straight up just find your own work. If you told just last year me that I would miss and desire education, I would call you stupid. Honestly, I was like that as well. I only became that way once I went into uni. Tech has changed me a lot, and I like it. That's one of the good benefits of, well, education in general. It's not even so much like, yeah, it's not even so much what you learn in the class. It's just the experience of just going out and doing stuff. Like, for example, uni or college is most people's first time living away from home. So, yeah, that's like the first steps in towards, independence. Ow. What's with the bricks? What have I done? You gave us the bricks? Well, technically, you're giving me the bricks to my face, which, I must say, very rude. Hmm. This part shouldn't be a shadow. I mean, it could. I just don't want it to be. I don't have a job yet, so can't do stuff like Arduino kits to fulfill my desire for work. Still looking. Understandable. I think like a yeah, I think like a decent starter kit can cost you like 20 to 50 bucks USD. I got it for way cheaper because I was in Malaysia, and China's like right across the sea, so everything was like super cheap. And that's sort of the things I miss. I'll report back to my Malaysian friends. I'm like, this is what I miss about your country: low cost of living, the food, proximity to China for cheap electronics. Lord, I found my old brain box. Gonna play with that for a bit. Also, you know what else is free? Programming. Pi Zero W is around 40 USD. Ew. I think I bought when I bought a Pi, I invested in like one of the higher end ones. I think it's a Raspberry Pi 4. That cost me like $100. But fortunately, Arduino, or at least like the clone knockoffs, are like crazy cheap. At least in comparison. I literally have a box full of like Arduinos. It's like right behind me. It's within arm's reach. Yeah, the higher end ones cost a lot, but they have 8 plus GB of RAM. Ooh, I think that's the one that I got. I basically ran it like a mini computer, and it worked great. But then I took it down because I think I was moving, and then yeah, I'm just never used it again. One of the main things I used it for, I actually use it for a bunch of stuff. There are some free Minecraft server services. I think Aternos is the website we used. So that one basically, if no one is on the server, they shut it down, and then someone has to like turn it on, right? So save bandwidth, yada yada yada. But in uni, we had like one of our clubs, and we had a Minecraft server for that club for a short while. So to always keep the server up, what I ended up doing is I was running Minecraft on that Raspberry Pi, like 2 frames a second, but I didn't need to play. I just needed to get that account into the game and just stand AFK and not move. And I changed the server settings so it doesn't kick you for being idle. And yeah, we just had like a bot stand and hold the server open so that anyone who wanted to play kind of just clicked on Minecraft multiplayer and ta-da, there's the server. And it was all free. I'm pretty sure we broke the TOS. But anyway, what were they gonna do? It's not like they noticed. But yeah. Wonder for the longest time why the brain box has a magnet. There's a reed switch in it. I'm not familiar with the brain box actually. Oh, that startled me. Hi Melta, welcome on in. We're talking about nerdy technology. Oh, 2 raids. Hi Naja, welcome on in. Hi. Sorry. I was about to dive back into our conversation, but I realized, wait a minute, I'm streamer. I'm supposed to do streamer things. Uh, Hello everyone. Welcome on in. I am Ordikai. I am purple. I am cat. I am wizard. That's about it. I'm artist. I do live 2D. We're actually making a model right now as we speak. At least that's what we're supposed to be doing. except we end up yapping like we usually do every single time. But yeah, welcome on in. How's your stream, guys? Double raid. So I'm assuming. Wait, is it a coincidence or were you guys like doing something together? Your art is so cute. Thank you. You see this staff? Hold on. I'm gonna be a show off. You see this staff? You see how it rolls, right? We have a redeem. Hold on. Hold on. You can roll it. Gives you a random number every time. For all the Baldur's Gate enthusiasts out there. But hi, welcome on in, guys. We did some chain together and did some Gardic phone. It was a lot of fun. Ooh, that sounds like fun. There's a I don't know if it's Gardic phone or Scribble.io. One idea for this is a dumb idea that I had when I saw people playing it is what if a little event that we could do is this is a free idea. Feel free to steal it, right? Scribble.io, Gardic phone, those community drawing ones. There was one where I think each person draws like a section of a model. Like for example, if this is the drawing, each person draws like a little piece of it. So like one person will draw the head, a second person will draw the torso, and then like the last person will draw the legs, right? So then you create this horrible abomination that, you know, that no one knows what it'll look like until it's completely done. And then you take that image and then you turn it into a live 2D model. There's a game mode in Gartic, I think. It's one of those games. I think it's Gartic or Scribble.io, one of them. And then we take that monstrosity and then we turn it into a live 2D model. And it'll be one of those so this is how live 2D works and how anything can be turned into a model. Concept is so cool. Yeah, I had that idea when I think I was watching a few streamers play it, right? And it was fun. Actually, I think I took part in it as well because it was like a bunch of streamers and chat as well. So yeah, I saw these horrible abominations and I was like, the art is simple enough that you could cut this up and turn it into a model in like a 3 hour stream, maybe 1 hour if everyone is super focused, which is impossible, but you know, we can hope. So yeah. When you mentioned Gardic phone, that was like the first thing that came into my mind. Maybe one day I'll do that. But I have a lot of commissions and work to get through. It is a tiring time. But so far so good. We were talking about technology, right? Sorry, I'm a very scatterbrained can. Let me scroll up. Okay, GPIO ports are also nice for building things. I built 4 temp humidity sensors out of the Pi Zero. That's pretty cool. I tried making one which would automatically water my plants, measure the soil, yada yada yada. Unfortunately, a lot of these things are not waterproof, and the way I kept my plants hydrated was I leave them in a balcony because I was living in Malaysia at the time. It is a literal rainforest. So I see a picture from Maxine. Is this a brain box? Ordi's a cat in my coffee cup. Yeah, it's my cup now. Yep, that's a brain box. It looks like a much simpler version of like an Arduino kit. Parts clipped together to make stuff. Yeah, you if you like it, you will love an Arduino kit. was gonna be like, you know what my favorite thing about the Arduino is? The GPIO pins, you know? And then I'm like, this is probably gonna turn into a tech channel. But yeah, I need to make new projects. I'm getting a bit rusty. Well, we have ads. I'm willing to have ideas pitched at me. What could I build here? Wally has fallen asleep and he looks so cute. Hold on, I need to take a picture. I'm gonna send this to his mom later. He's so cute. A rambunctious gremlin, but an adorable one. I'll take this chance to get some work done. I wish we could turn off ads permanently. I say this every time. But every time, my desire gets stronger and stronger. Soon you can actually keep a little bit out. I think that's pretty good. At least size-wise. Ads are done. Welcome back, guys. Hmm. Well, thanks for the follow. Hi, Koyuki. Welcome on in. We're cutting up some art to make a model. Ooh, hold on. It's show off time. Where's this thing? I finished the little sheep the other day. Ta-da! Look, he's adorable. He bounces, and the best part, he can do this. I love this little guy. My biggest struggle is actually just holding my eyes open. But yeah, the whole sparkle was an experiment, and honestly, beautiful, if I say so myself. Yeah, I love the sparkles. Yeah, today we have art. We have the reference sheet. We have the art here. I am just cutting it up, converting it into a model. So yeah, I feel like once we finish with the head, which we're about halfway, the rest of the model should be simple. Hmm. So there's a few pixels sticking out here. I saw it earlier, but then I forgot about it. Okay, we have this one. I'll make this layer. If y'all ever only have triple A and you get tempted to put in foil so you can put the triple A into double A spot, are they the same voltage? Hold on, I have some here. Hmm. 1.5 volts and 1.5. Yeah, actually, they should work. If it's something that doesn't use a lot of power, yeah, go for it. I think 1.5 volt because a 9-volt battery is just multiple double A batteries. Oh. Yeah, it's like those power banks and other lithium batteries. They're like, this is one giant battery, but if you open it up, it's just a bunch of them stuck together. Ooh, especially those like really massive ones. You know, the ones which I should not finish that thought because that is information that you guys should not have. Never mind. But yeah, really massive batteries are just many small batteries put together. I get a little overexcited sometimes. And I go, yeah, so basically, I never talk about what I did during my corpo time simply because it is very easy to narrow down who I am and where I worked because it's a very niche company. They do a very niche thing. Like, for example, in the entire country. Okay, I've told this story before, but we'll do it again. Why am I very secretive, right? Just in general. Picture this. I tell everyone, oh, I worked in the country of Malaysia. This is well known, not a secret, but this is one piece of information. Okay, it's a big country. You're not going to find me. And then I say, oh, I worked in a company doing this, this, this. You can search up companies doing this, this, this in Malaysia, and you'll find, oh, there's like four of them, a very small number. And then I can mention, oh, it was actually a bit of a smaller company. So you can search from those companies that you found. Oh, these ones have hundreds, these ones have hundreds. Oh, this company only has like, I don't know, 15 employees. So this must be the one. Oh, he was a foreigner when he was in Malaysia. So you just look at the company pictures and all of the employees and stuff, and you realize, oh, one of these does not look like the others. And then now you know what I look like. And then you check the They probably not updated their employee section. You check the employee section, find my LinkedIn, you have my full name, you have my contacts, you know what my face looks like, and yeah, so I try not to tell people. Is it a little extreme? Probably, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, so yeah. Even when I send pictures of like my cat, what I do is usually I've sent the pictures through like WhatsApp or something to friends. What I do is I take the picture, I copy it, I paste it. Like for example, say pretend this is a picture of my cat. What I do is I'd paste the picture here, and then I cut the image like that. I paste it like that, and then from the art app, I copy it like this, and then I post it on Discord, so it doesn't have any of the metadata or anything like that. I hate LinkedIn. It is a cesspool. I wish never to have to go back there again. I wish I could deactivate my account. Honestly, it's not to sound rude, but it's like a lot of yes men just like patting each other on the back, but not really doing anything. Have you heard the term a linked influencer? There are like some good uses for it. Wait, can people figure out stuff from photos sent in Discord? Um, Kind of depends. It depends on the photo. Like for example, some phones when you take like the image, it does save like the location data in like the metadata of the image. So, yeah, it's just an extra step that I take care of to make sure, nothing bad happens. But I don't think it's so specific as in these were the exact coordinates of where the picture was taken, but I think it does show like the general area, like maybe the city or the town, etc., I know some phones do that. I don't know if mine does. It sounds like they remove the EXIF metadata. Yeah, I think most platforms might remove that. Hold on. Let's Google this. Does Discord remove? Okay, it removes the metadata from images, but it does not remove data from videos. While we're at it, let's check Twitter too. Yeah, you know what? This is a very educational channel. Yes, Twitter automatically removes EXIF metadata from photos and videos. I think like it's standard practice in like a lot of social media. But yeah, dressed to be extra safe. This involves trusting the platform, which I do not. So no. I am gonna be my tinfoil hat wearing skeptic and do my long procedure anyway. Yeah, according to Google, Discord removes it from images but not videos. Pictures are fine though. Yeah, imagine that. That would be so wild if they didn't do that. They're like a couple steps ahead. But if you send it like as a document or in a compressed file, that data is not removed. So always be paranoid. Chances are they did not do that originally. When it comes to these things like that, uh, when it comes to things like this, usually the problems happen and then there was noise about it and then they do something about it. So I'm pretty sure someone this probably happened, right? This is my head canon. Maybe people were posting pictures and then a random stalker downloads it, gets the metadata and is like, I have your location now, sends them their home address or whatever. And then people freaked out, made a huge noise about it. And then Twitter goes in and is like, oh shit, we need to like do something about this. And then problem solved itself. There's actually a saying like for every sign there's a story. Do you ever see like random signs that you have no idea why they exist? Like for example, this is not real, but like if you'd see oh, no diving from this bridge, or no wait, not no, that's a bit dark. Uh, what's an example? Right. If you go into like some countries, there's signs that say no squatting on the toilet, and you see like someone just like squatting on top of like the normal Western toilets, etc. Right. Now, as someone who doesn't come from a country where that is normal, I was like, why on earth would anyone do that? But wait, that's a bad example. That's a cultural thing. Have you guys seen the TV series How I Met Your Mother? There's actually one episode about this. They were at a casino, and there's a sign that says no motorcycles on the casino floor, and you'd think like that's a oddly specific rule. However, there was an episode where one of the characters kind of just rode a motorcycle in, stopped by security, and he was being smug. It's like, well, technically, there's no rule about it. And as they go through the entire very large book on the casino rules, like, damn it, he's right. And then they add the rule to it. So yeah, where there's a sign, there's a story. I don't know if that's possible. I live in a very small town, so I want to be careful. Oh yeah, it always pays to be extra safe. Now, even if you don't do that, is something likely to happen? Chances are very, very, very small. Like you're as likely as being struck by lightning, right? I am just a very cautious, paranoid cat. So, yeah. Thank you for educating me. Well, it is my pleasure. I'm actually learning as well because I didn't know they automatically remove the data. I just assumed they didn't. So, yeah, I'm just being cautious. If you need to clear that data, Windows allows you to do that from properties menu on the file. Oh, yeah. It's just it's a lot of work and I'm a bit lazy. My strategy, like what I do with the art app, takes me like 5 seconds. Stole father's old multimeter so I can test the stuff in my brain box. Still works. Yeah, usually what I would do is I just make I have a battery, I have an LED light, and I test the wires by connecting the two. And I was like, does it turn on? If yes, wire work. Welcome to my art stream, everyone, where we do everything except art. I promise I was productive earlier today. Okay, so we can take it easy. But usually, the tech industry, it's a big problem happens and then regulations are made. That's actually one of the biggest problems. Like a lot of the whole Chat GPT and AI stuff is, how would you say this? There's no rules for it yet, but we're slowly getting there. I keep seeing articles about different countries, all saying, "Hey, we have passed a law that says what OpenAI did was wrong." Gonna lurk while I get ready for bed. Well, thanks for lurking. Eat the wires. No. A, I don't think they taste very good. B, that's only okay if you are Mistborn. And if you don't know what that means, read Brandon Sanderson's book, Mistborn. Worth it. I'm rereading the series. Those are people who can eat wires and metal and gain powers from them. Okay, where were we? Okay, we were. I think this should be a bit out. Hmm. Wires are the forbidden spaghetti. Well, they're probably forbidden for a reason, so I wouldn't chew on them. To lay them in your walls. Well, the power is currently on, so what I imagine is you are basically inside a giant bug zapper. So I'm not too worried. Ah, Julian, guys, my cat is here. She was crying earlier today because I was on my bunk bed and the blanket was kind of dangling over where the steps are. Ow. And she couldn't climb up as a result. So I just hear her like kind of scrambling on the ladder. And I hear it start meowing and crying. I'm like, what's going on with this cat? So I lean over and look. I see she's desperately trying to get up because she wants to like sleep and cuddle with me. But she couldn't like climb the bed. And according to her, that was like the most tragic thing that happened to her. And she was like meowing and screaming. And I was like, I thought like maybe she fell or hurt herself or something. But yeah, she's like, no, I want cuddles and I want them now. It's a very spoiled cat, but it's okay. She's adorable. My poor baby. She's one of those like very clingy cats. You know the kind that if they're not pressed up against you or like laying on top of your lap or like leaning against you, they kind of just wither away. Yeah, and that's the kind of cat she is. Yeah, her and Wally are staring at each other. I hope they don't fight. Those two, very dramatic. They've been living with each other for like over a year now. You'd think by now they would have gone along. I've got one of those. She has to join all my meetings. Those are the best kind of cats, especially if you work from home. In fact, a running gag that I have with some friends of mine is whenever she's sitting like on my lap and staring at my screen, I always send them a picture of the cat and me doing art. I'm like, this is uh what's the word? Assistant art director Julian, hard at work. And yeah, it's just pictures of my cat just judging my pieces. I want a cat. They're wonderful companions. Although, word of warning: only get a cat if you are in a somewhat stable part of your life. Don't get it if you're like a student or you know maybe unemployed or not yet like settled down, right? Because for example, you can get a cat. Mm, say you're a student, you get a cat. Now you have to move. Say you move cities. If it's a city, it's okay, a bit of a hassle, but it's fine. But say you study in a different country and you get a cat. Shipping cats internationally, crazy expensive. I speak from experience. Don't do what I did, right? Uh, so your options are either pay very, very, very expensive shipping costs for a cat. Like one cat is like I paid like $2,000 per cat. So yeah, that was about a year and a half of just saving up, so I don't have to abandon my cats. Abandon is the wrong word. I mean, give them away. Now, say you're just vibing at home and you get a cat, and say you get a job somewhere else. You'll have to move, you'll have to relocate if it's not in the same town slash city. And yeah, moving is tough. And not only if you're moving somewhere else, you'll have to get accommodation. And not all accommodations accept pets because some people are more animalistic than their pets and they let their animals do whatever, destroy the house, and then the people who rent will probably not be too happy. So yeah, like I can understand why someone would be like, hey, no pets allowed, because a lot of times it's like bad experiences. Ooh, I know when I was studying in Malaysia, there's a lot of people who are hesitant to rent to students because I don't know about you guys, but when I was in uni, a lot of the other students were basically animals in terms of hygiene and manners. So, yeah, honestly, I can understand. You know what my strat is? Whenever I'm looking for a place, I always ask about like the pets, and then I say, what's it called? I was like, okay, is there like a deposit that I can pay in case the cats like destroy anything? Because hey, I understand they're animals, but if they do anything, I want you to know I'll cover the cost. It's all good. Mostly just saying that gives them the impression like, okay, this person seems responsible and he's not gonna let his wild animal ransack the place, you know? Because when I was working in Malaysia, the apartment that I got to, initially they're like, hey, no pets. And I asked about it. I'm like, oh, okay, this place is wonderful. I would love to take it, but I do have a cat. She's a very calm and sweet thing. All she does is eat, sleep, and cuddle. She's not like those. She's not like those annoying cats that destroy furniture and knock things over. But I do understand if you're scared. If they destroy anything, I'll be happy to cover any of the costs. If it's a little extra for the deposit, that's okay with me. So long as you're happy and comfortable, I don't mind. And yeah, they're like, this boy seems polite and he seems okay. So we're gonna let him have his cat. Guys, life is just charisma checks. You can mock the D&D bards all you want, but they're onto something. They also like to cry when going for a ride in a car. Julian is the most guilty of this. You see, the thing is, when she's scared, she's like dead silent. But then once she's secure enough, she's like, okay, I'm a bit terrified, but I'm not in danger. Then she starts screaming. Oh, she hates car rides. Wally, on the other hand, hates them just as much, but he's a bit of a cowardly cat. So all he does is he just like sits and cries. He cries a little bit, and then, what's it called? Once you put him in the car, and then he is like, oh, I don't know where I am. I'm scared. He goes dead silent. Like, put it this way, I took him to the vet one time, and the vet was like checking him out, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, he seems fine. Oh, he's so well behaved. They actually said this about like both of them. Oh no, wait, sorry, this is Wally. This is Julian. She's like, oh, she's so cute. She's so well behaved. She wasn't screaming. She wasn't fighting. She was holding perfectly still while the nurse did everything. All the checks, jamming the thermometer, inside her. If you know, you know. She's like, oh, she's so calm. She's so well behaved. I'm like, no, she is terrified. But she's frozen like a deer in the headlights. Look. And then she let go of the cat, and I kind of just with one finger, I kind of just poked her, and she just like fell over, like she's a statue. Like those goats that faint when they're terrified. That's basically what the cat did. I was like, yeah, she's scared. She's not brave at all. But yeah, all the vets are super obsessed with Julian. I have the cutest cat. I want you guys to know this. You know what? I'm bringing up pictures. I need to prove it. I did miss some messages. Is the kitty a harsh critic? Yes, but she doesn't say anything. She just looks at it, scoffs silently, and judges. Can't get a cat because dad and little brother are allergic. It's okay. I'll just get a new family. It's fine. Mm, and looks like some of the stuff in the brain box is broken. I'm sad. Well, that is unfortunate. Put all my skill points into the autism tree. My friend has a void kitty named Lucifer. I actually had one. It wasn't my cat per se. It was this like black kitten that I rescued because it was just like alone outside. Right. I took it in, took care of it for a while, and found it a home. Right. Some random person on Facebook, on one of those like adoption groups, you know. So it was this cute little thing, pitch black fur, and I named it Lucy. Have you guys ever watched Enchanted? Oh, sorry, Disenchantment. Is that the name of the show? Hold on, let me find it. Yeah, Disenchantment. This is the one. So yeah, this little demon they just call Lucy. So yeah, I named it. I named that little black kitten after this thing. It was so cute though. It loved to attack me whenever I was eating food. So I had to like bribe it with my omelet every single time. Ooh, also for people who really love cats, but you've never owned one before, you don't know the if they're right for you. One thing you could do is reach out to rescues, right, and ask them if they have any kittens that need fostering, right? Because sometimes shelters are full and they literally have no space for them while they're looking to get them adopted. So, what some people can do is they offer to basically temporarily adopt the cat. So, the cat has, is taken care of, has a place to stay, the shelters are not too crowded, and eventually, when they find someone who wants to adopt the cat, well, they take them from you and give them to the new owner. So it's basically you look after the cat for a while. It's great if you can't have a cat permanently, but if you want like the joy of owning a cat, yeah. It also helps socialize the cats. Oh yeah, that's another advantage. I think they also do that not if the shelters are full, but also really young cats, like little babies that might need like extra attention. If I didn't have my cats, I think that's what I would do. Well, if I, yeah, not gonna finish that thought, but yeah, if I didn't have my pets, and say I didn't know if I was gonna live here for too long, I would just foster kittens because it's the joy of taking care of pets, but none of the commitment. It is also heartbreaking because you do have to, give them away eventually. If you get attached to them. Lucifer got his name because he was a black kitten in a litter of white kittens. Ah, if Ordi didn't have his cats, war crimes would be committed. That would happen if someone tried to take them away from me. This is alternate timeline where I didn't find them. Yeah, if I didn't find them, I would have this silly goober just like sitting on the floor. He's just staring at me. This is Wally I'm talking about. Hmm. Okay, we can cheat a little bit. see if we can just clone this. Because this part of the hair is probably not going to be seen, and if it is, for maybe half a second and only a little bit. Maybe rotate it a bit more. Because I'm assuming that is an Elden Ring reference. I feel like if Feather finally plays Elden Ring, you might explode with excitement. That's the impression I get. Mog is the Bloodlord, and if I make Feather play Elden Ring, it's the last thing I ever do. Oh, sorry. I will make Feather. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I misread that. I read it in the sense that you were going, oh, if he does it, I can die happy, you know? The Bloodlord is weak to bleed. That is irony. Hmm. I think one more strand to be safe. Just taking a little shortcut. Melania, the goddess of rot, isn't immune to rot. You know, you would think. Hmm. Maybe this could be divided into 3. Yep, this should be its own layer. So I'm thinking out loud. If this is its own layer, the jiggling would be a lot easier to control and come out a bit nicely. So that's what we're gonna do. Look at us being productive. They said it couldn't happen. Haters, the lot of them, I tell you. Okay, the Dragon Lord's incantation doesn't get buffed by. Yeah, I have no idea what any of that means. One day I will play Elden Ring, and I'll finally understand. You guys have any good show recommendations? I'm in a bit of a drought. I think Fallout Season 2 is coming out soon. Oh, I literally just watched the trailer today. I'm gonna be honest, I really liked it. Well, the show at least. The first season. I'm a huge Fallout fan. Maybe not the biggest out there. It's just I played a couple of the games and really loved them. I've played 3 and 4, and I think I've watched like 10,000 hours of Fallout lore. Fallout lore, Skyrim lore. I watched one of those videos which is this is every single vault experiment explained. I got one of my human friends invested into the show. So that was a bug. I got one of my human friends invested into the show, and yeah, they were enjoying it. I had to keep pointing out all the references. It's like, oh, in the game that is this. I was being one of those annoying people before I realized and then stopped. Imagine you're trying to watch like a movie, and then every single time something pops up, the guy next to you starts explaining things. Like, oh, this is an obscure reference, an Easter egg to this. Usually those conversations are good like after the movie or, things like that. But like while, I don't think so. It's like backseating a TV show or a movie. What do I call this one? Here, back. Here, back. Center right. But Fallout isn't out yet. What is currently out that I could binge? I just watch electronics repair videos. I don't think that's my cup of tea. Usually I watch shows to like turn off my brain, you know? Yeah, this will be fine. I think I enjoy if I actually don't have anything to watch, I just watch like streams, you know? Because like it's kind of like turning on the TV, not knowing what is on, and just like watching whatever's there. I usually have like I follow like a handful of streamers for like each of the time slots of the day. So I'm like, okay, in the morning, I know there's like I have these options. In the afternoon, I have those ones, you know? So I never remembered like anyone's schedule or anything like that. It's just I'm like, oh, I have time. I need to find something to watch. Maybe I'm eating food. I'm like, I want to kill like 15 minutes. Yeah, just open Twitch and see who's up there. But sometimes there's nothing. I actually don't follow too many people. Maybe I should. I have been watching the new Adventure Time show. It's called Fiona and Cake. It's pretty interesting. Not made for children like the first one. I think it's for like the same audience, just now that they've grown up. It lacks that whimsical charm of the first one. It's a bit more of a mature series, but I've been enjoying it. Hmm. Almost forgot this thing. I think it's called what's it called? A hoge? Yeah. Well, I can wait for Fallout, I guess. Or sometimes if I need to take a break, what I do is I open like some VODs of some just chatting streamers that I enjoy. And I put it on kind of like a podcast while I play like Helldivers or something. Kill like 20 minutes and yeah. What I used to do is like if I needed a long break, I put one of those VODs on and I play like Minecraft because it's not the most engaging thing if you're building, but having like the audio, just like playing through, listening to something while doing something else, that's my kind of entertainment. We're basically done with the hair. The only thing we need to do is shade it, which is not too tough. And then we can move to the body, and then the art will basically be done. And then we can get to rigging it. The face is done almost. Because we have the eyes. We have the eyes. Mouth is very simple. We just need to shade it, and then yeah, the head will be done. Because I've already finished the ear. Sorry, my room started smelling, and I realized one of my cats was using the litter box. Anyway, yeah, we have the ear. It's already separated into layers, right? I already know like how we're gonna rig it, so we just need to shade it. So instead of looking one single color like this, it looks shaded like that. And yeah, it'll basically be done. I'll continue it off stream, maybe. Or maybe I can reserve it for stream. Because it's one I can like comfortably do. We'll see. I did put it aside for like a couple days because I had a couple deadlines to really meet. So yeah, I do have a couple more. Hmm. You know what? I'll save this for like the stream model, you know? Then you get to see the progress all in real time. Okay. Uh Fill it in with color. Hmm. Yep, it's coming along nicely. We're actually way ahead of schedule for this one, I think. Oh yeah, we are. I think I actually realized on VGen I forgot to mark it as work in progress. Whoops. So you'll just get an email that says Ordi is now starting on your commission. But yeah, whoopsie. But anyway, this is actually way ahead of schedule. I thought it would take like a lot longer. But I forgot that I've improved in terms of speed. Hmm. I don't like the orientation of it. No, it's fine. I think I'm thinking about making it too much like mine. Because mine goes like straight up and then like curls. You could just rotate it a bit. Got my Steam Assistant about 90% done. I just need to add some logging, debugging statements in case something goes wrong. Oh, stream. Sorry, I read Steam. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, okay, okay. That's exciting. Well, you haven't started streaming yet, but those who are here, drop a follow. Gun pointed to your head. Hmm. I think we're. I think my perfectionist tendencies are kicking in. Is that one better? You know what? It's perfect that Goldie, you're here. Which do you think is better? The thinner one that goes up, or maybe the older one? Thoughts? There is no right answer. Let me see the full picture of it. So this is the OG one. The old one, perfect. So I can just undo. Kind of tall, understandable. You know, that's the beauty of having the people who commissioned you in the chat, because you can just like ask. The I don't even say stressful thing, inconvenient thing about like using features like DM system is sometimes people are busy. They'll get like the message and stuff, but maybe they'll reply in like a day or two. So yeah, I am enjoying this. You know what? All my clients should be in chat. It's a bit too standoutish when it's that tall. You know, understandable. Personally, I think I made mine to be standoutish. You'll see like this the whole model, and then you see that one thing just sticking out. Because that's what I personally prefer. So yeah, it's all a matter of like preference. Okay. Mm, I think we can call it here today because I'm a bit sleepy. So, thanks everyone for stopping by. Hope you had a great time. I know I did. Do we know someone who is live? Okay, well, we are rating. Oh, we have ads. Um, Well, to those of you who can hear me, thanks for stopping by. Hope you had a great time. Um, Words are failing me. So I'm just gonna hit the rate now button and see you guys next time. Bye bye. Have a good night. Thank you. You too. I think it's night for you. A very early morning. Either way, bye bye.